I know she was 99, and it feels weird to say that her passing was unexpected, but this feels so wrong. Folks, I am deeply saddened to share the news that various media outlets are reporting that Betty White has died. Apparently, Los Angeles Police Department spokesman Mike Lopez announced earlier today that officers responded to a radio call at about 9:30 a.m. this morning concerning a natural death investigation at Betty's home in Brentwood, California. Darn it all, less than 3 weeks before Betty was to celebrate her 100th birthday. Now it appears that she's decided to go hang out with her Mary Tyler Moore colleagues Gavin MacLeod and Ed Asner, who died earlier this year. I know Betty best from this show, the 80s sitcom classic The Golden Girls. I just want to state for the record that I think all four of these ladies were just the best. Their chemistry, the way they worked together, well, it was really a thing of beauty. The Golden Girls debuted on NBC in 1985, and for the next 7 years, regardless of your age, fans, both young and old, were delighted by the chemistry of the core four actresses, Rue McClanahan, Estelle Getty, Bea Arthur, and especially Betty White. Betty would go on to win an Emmy for her portrayal of sweet-natured Rose Nyland, and she was nominated in the Best Outstanding Actress in a Comedy category every year that the show was on the air. Long before the Golden Girls, Betty had been a television pioneer, gracing the small screen during the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It was during that decade, the 70s, that her star really started to shine, at least with me, with the character of Sue Ann Nivens on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Later on, Betty would also be the first woman to win a daytime Emmy for hosting a game show. Truthfully, was there anything that this woman couldn't do? Just yesterday, I stumbled across this tweet from Steve Martin on Twitter. He said, in 1974, I was an obscure opening act for Linda Ronstadt at the Troubadour in Los Angeles. Passing through the lobby before the show, I saw Betty and her husband, Alan Ludden, waiting in line. I loved Betty White, so I went up to them. I am so honored to meet you both. And then I said, isn't Linda great? Betty said, we came to see you. And I said, why? Because we heard you were funny. I was elated. That tweet came from Steve Martin just yesterday. Folks, I could go on and on for hours about Betty White, and I probably will on some future live stream, but the only other thing that I'm going to say today is that we have just lost one of the entertainment industry's absolute best. Betty White was the real deal, kind, caring, and extremely talented. I can't remember a single episode of any show, whether it was The Golden Girls, Hot in Cleveland, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, or even going way back, A Date with the Angels, where Betty didn't make me laugh. Alright, now it's your turn. Please share your memories of Betty in the comments section, and as always, I would appreciate it if you clicked on the thumbs up icon and that little subscribe button. I talk about music, movies, and mostly TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
Hey, you guys! I say this calls for action, and now, nip it in the bud.
Michelle Pfeiffer? The only true Catwoman is Julie Newmar, Lee Merriweather, or Eartha Kitt. And I didn't need molded plastic to improve my physique. Pure West.
Good morning, angels.
Good morning, Charlie.
I love it when a plan comes together.
It's time. Let's talk about music, movies, and mostly television from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. Good evening and welcome to The Good Stuff Live. My name is Dave Sundstrom, and well, if you enjoy talking about music, movies, and mostly TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s, you've come to the right place. So, hello. It's Wednesday. It's the first Wednesday of 2022. And as I think many of you are aware, I decided to dedicate a large portion of tonight's live stream. We're going to just allow everybody to celebrate and remember the life of Betty White. Betty left us on December 31, 2021, and you know, it's weird. It's one of those really weird things to say that you're surprised about anyone passing away at the age of 99, but I think a lot of us were. So before we get going, I want to welcome everybody that's here. I'm going to quickly scroll up. You do that and see. There's a lot of talking, so I might miss a few people, but I want to see if I can, for the most part, welcome as many people as possible. We've got 63 people in the live stream with us this evening. We've got Tim the Enchanter, Superfan Lance Chaffin, Superfan Spike Spikerson, Thomas McCluskey, also known as the Hungry Jerk, Daryl Johnston, Superfan Jill Carter. Let's see who else is here. Lots of chit chat going back and forth. Superfan Elf Dog 100, Superfan Jill Carter, Thrash Pondo Pawns in the house, Superfan Mama Pink, Kenneth Wilkinson, Superfan Tracy Roth Myers, my friend Steve Tevis from The Life and Sad Ending is here. Welcome. Good to have you, my friend. Ruth Ann Blank, Happy New Year to you as well. Excuse me. Superfan Buddy Mills, welcome. Who else is here? Awkward silence while I scroll through the list here. I love the conversation. So much fun to see everybody talking. Thrash Pondo asks, quick question, anybody remember the show that Pat McCormick was on? Did anybody? Yeah. Kenneth Wilkinson said General Hospital. Superfan Superplex said General Hospital. Yep, our friend Pat, he was an alumni, a regular on General Hospital for a number of years. Let's see what else we got going on. Matthew Sweeney, welcome to the live stream tonight. I'm still not to 8:30 Eastern time as I scroll through, but I'm scrolling as fast as I can. Edward Myers, welcome. Good to have you here. Keith E., welcome. I did not know you were visually impaired, but great to have you with us, and hopefully you enjoy listening to the live stream tonight. McGannahan Sky Jellyfetty, Happy New Year to you. Good to have you with us. The Josh Sings, hello. Superfan Georgia Ayers, welcome. Danny Staten, always great to have you hanging out with us in South Carolina. Renee's Bohem, thank you for joining us on the live stream tonight. James Dye, welcome. Jerry Gillespie. Let's go ahead and put his comment on screen. He says, hi, Dave. I first saw Betty White on Game Show. She was great on Alan Ludden's show Password, but she was a riot on the Match Game, especially when she would roll up host Gene Rayburn's pants. She was a hoot, an absolute hoot on Match Game with Gene Rayburn, the later version of the Match Game in the 70s. And she was a frequent guest on that show. In fact, I was going to play some clips from that, but realized I was going to get into some copyright issues, so I opted out of that. But Jason Goldtrip sent me a link to another feller's, or I don't know, I think it's a feller. His name's Neil. It's another guy's YouTube channel. Let me put it up on screen real quick. It's called Match Game Productions. And if you go to Match Game Productions, just type it in the YouTube search box. You do this real quick. Type it in the YouTube search box. You will find this channel. that currently has about 57,000 subscribers. And as you can see, there are a couple of videos. His most recent videos are clips from various game shows that Betty White was on, and they're a lot of fun to watch. They're not short videos. Each of them run a number of hours, but if you got some time, they're definitely worth a watch. Now, I'm teasing right now what we have in store. A little bit later on, we're going to do a little bit of true-false fun, and we'll test everybody's knowledge regarding how well you know Betty White. All right, let me get back to the comments here. First thing I want to do is say thank you once again to Kevin Connor. Kevin Connor is always, you know what? I'll put a live stream up or notification that a live stream is going to happen, and the next thing you know, there is a super chat from my friend Kevin, and it's always ahead of time, and usually it has disappeared on the chat before I get a chance to acknowledge it, but I want to make sure I acknowledge it tonight. So let me send a little bit of love your way, Kevin, and just a hearty thank you to you for your support. This is my latest thank you clip, and hopefully you enjoy it. It's from a movie that, you know, was maligned by the critics, but I enjoyed, called Dr. Detroit.
Hey, look.
Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Truly do appreciate your support. All right. We've got Karen Lester with us, Superfan Dave Claroni, Nan59, Believing Rebel, Shannon Burns, welcome to the live stream. I said hello to Superfan Mama Pink, I think, but I'll say hello again, just in case I did not. Cindy D, welcome. Good to have you with us. Oh, Spike Spikerson says that I better make you cry. I can't make you cry. But I will tell you this. I'm not one that openly weeps too much, but I have certainly felt a sense of melancholy and sadness at the passing of Betty White. Let's see. Arch Enema, welcome to the live stream. Arch Enema 67 says, I saw a supermarket tabloid headline that said Betty White turns 100 just a few days after she died at 99. Yeah, People magazine had their 100th birthday celebration magazine hit newsstands on the 30th, I believe. So no doubt you saw something like that, not only from People, but probably a couple other tabloids as well. Welcome to the live stream. Good to have you with us. Let's see if anyone else is here. Der Alt Trekkie says, rip Betty White. Absolutely. Rest in peace. And it's great to have you here from Germany. Welcome. Good to have you on the live stream. Pauline is from Louisiana, and welcome to you. I think I've said hello to Superfan George Ayers. I'll say it again just in case I missed her. After you say a number of names a number of times, you forget all of the names you've mentioned. Superfan Kevin Davis, welcome to you and Happy New Year. And Redneck Lover 22 says, greetings from my semi. Well, right back at you, my friend. And Raja 1938 says, she lived a great life and was beloved by all. What more could one ask for? It's a good point. It's a very good point. Superfan Buddy Mills is here. Welcome. Sakina McMurrin says, hi, Dave. Betty White made my adult daughter laugh. She made me laugh. My parents laughed and my grandparents. Yes, 4 generations. Isn't that? What a legacy that is. A Stry, welcome. Good to have you on the live stream. Good to have you all the way from Canada. Good to have you here. John H. is here. Welcome. Rosemary Magrino, welcome. Joe Anderson's here. Jared Wignall. Let's see. Who else? I'm making some progress here. West Haven, always and forever. Love from Connecticut. Welcome. Trucking with a Tablet. Welcome. Christopher Snyder. Welcome. Pamela Mays. Welcome. She says the love story of Betty White and Ellen Ludden was amazing. Isn't that true? So amazing. Anthony C. Brown says, thank you for your channel. Well, thank you for being a member of the channel's community. Anthony, good to have you with us. Hi, Brenda. Good to have you with us as well this evening. Let's see. I'm almost to the end. John Marie, welcome. Good to have you with us this evening. Joey Noble, welcome. She was cute and beautiful throughout her entire life, not just when she was young, and it goes beyond her physical appearance. This was truly a beautiful lady. BDF, welcome. TJ921 Abel, welcome. Yes, Sakina. Dr. Detroit was hysterical. It's one of those movies, you know, Dan Aykroyd has some films where you either love them or you hate them. That's one of them, but I love it. Of course I would. I'm a Pee Wee Herman, Ed Grimley fan. I've got to love Dr. Detroit. Chris Carter says, Dave, can't forget that Betty White and her husband were in The Love Boat season 4 with David Doyle, Robert Stack, and the Village People. Now that is an episode worth revisiting. I'm going to check that out. Season 4, you say? I don't remember that episode, so this will be new for me. Thank you for the heads up and the tip. Chacho Pichardo says, I loved her in The Golden Girls. I think a lot of us did. This was a woman who was nominated, 9 times? 8 times? Every year the Golden Girls was on the air. She was nominated for Best Comedic Actress. Let's see. Anyone else? Pamela May says, Betty White was a national treasure for sure, for sure. Emily Miller says, hey, y'all. Good to have you with us, Emily. Always a treat. And Custom God says, hello, or hey, Dave. Well, right back at you, my friend. Zilate says, Dave, just watched a movie with her in it the night before she died. Shocked me and broke my heart. You know, she was not only a great television actress, but was in a number of movies. One that keeps getting mentioned is Lake Placid. Those that have seen that movie, she's so much fun in that. And I enjoyed her in The Proposal as well. Marianne Lockwood, hello. Pat McCormick, my friend from Golden Rage of Television. He says, hi, gang. Betty was a 1 in a million girl. That's a Tubes reference. Both Pat and I are both big Tubes fans. And she was indeed. She was a beauty, Pat. Let's see what else we've got going on here. Who else is in the stream? Diabetic Honeybee says, how did Betty cope with her loss of Alan? It must have been hard. I bet she thought about Alan every day of her life. And I know she missed him. And I'm not going to say any more about that because there is a true or false question about that in a bit. So I'll be careful. You know, I posted a survey out on the community channel page, and I asked the question, what is your favorite Betty White TV role? And the choices that I gave, YouTube only allows me to give 5 choices, was Elka Ostrovsky from Hot in Cleveland, Rose Nyland from The Golden Girls, Sue Ann Nivens from The Mary Tyler Moore Show, or I also put, I liked it when Betty was on Match Game, or something else. And here's what is clear to me. Betty's portrayal of Rose on The Golden Girls was hands down, as we look at the community's response, everyone's favorite. And you know what a treat that was. It was really something special. All of those ladies on The Golden Girls were really special. And it's a testament to those actresses, but especially Betty, that she's so beloved. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, I wanted to show this. I got sent this picture a little earlier. This is our friend, superfan John Collins. He sent this to me. He was thinking about and reflecting on the life of Betty White, and of course had the appropriate attire for that kind of reflection. Great t-shirt. I think my oldest son has one similar to that. But yeah, We all need to stay golden. But thanks for sharing the picture. Wonderful to get that. Let me get back to the live streams. Blessed Butterfly on Wheels says, welcome, by the way, new to the live streams, but definitely not new to Betty White's legacy and humor. Everything she did. Yeah, she was a treat. And John Marie mentions, it's not one of the choices I gave, but it was mentioned a number of times in the other section when I said, choose other in the survey and put your choice in the comments. Folks mentioned the whole Mama's Family sketches, which were fun. Betty was great on those. All right, is there anyone else here? Oh, Mama Pink says, speaking of the Tubes, the Tubes used to practice in the artist's warehouse that I used to live in. Could walk down the hallways and hear them. Emeryville, California. Mama Pink, you were the luckiest person in the world. I absolutely, they're top 3 band for me, the Tubes. I've seen them live a number of times, but I always had to pay. But I've seen them. Yeah, I saw them during their heyday, and then I've seen them a few times as they've, they go out on those kind of reunion tours and 80s nostalgia fests, that type of thing. But they're great. Fee Waybill. I only got to see them live once. No, wait, twice. Yeah, twice with Bill Spooner in the band. But I love Bill Spooner. I really, as talented and as wonderful a vocalist as Fee Waybill is, I really feel like Bill Spooner was the heart and soul of that band, and they lost something when he left, for sure. All right, let me scroll down because it does look like we have a super chat that I need to address, and this is from Anthony C. Brown. He says, Betty White was one of the few actresses who could claim being in several successful sitcoms. Yeah, I mean, you think the 70s, Mary Tyler Moore Show, the 80s, Golden Girls, and then the 90s into the 2000s, I think probably 2000s actually, was when Hot in Cleveland was big. But she was also in some sitcoms in the 90s, lesser successful. And then in the 50s, she was in A Life with Elizabeth and then Date with the Angels. So she has been in television since the very beginning. Anthony goes on to say, she proved that she could not be typecast as an actress and played so many diverse characters. So very true, Anthony, and really a wonderful super chat. Thank you so much for your support. Let me throw a little love your way. I got to go Spidey.
Someone is trying to embarrass me.
Yeah, thanks so much for that comment and for your support, Anthony. Truly appreciated. All right, let's see what else we've got here. Sakina mentions the same shows I mentioned. I did not mention the Betty White show. Interesting. Oh, and of course, Pat McCormick says surreal when Bill Spooner opened for me, Dave. Yeah, we've talked a little bit about that. How neat would that be? Huge Bill Spooner fan. And welcome to BK on the Air, folks. Here's another great channel you should check out. It's also probably even more accurately described a great podcast. BK on the Air. It has a live broadcast every Saturday, but then they rebroadcast via podcast form. And they're so much fun. The conversation is just what you would expect. Nostalgia, television and movies. And of course, our very own Pat McCormick, who's frequently on this live stream, contributes to that, the BK on the Air radio program as well. So welcome, Brian. Good to have you with us. Ashley Bell, welcome as well. Says Australia has dedicated a new breed of dingo to Betty White, the white-crested dingo, because she loved animals so much. Very cool, Ashley. That's awesome. And you know what? She was such an advocate for animals. So very cool. Thanks for pointing that out. Someone asked me about Vince Welnick. Oh, McGanahan Sky Jellyfetty. Absolutely. It may end up being on my Retro Music Memories channel. So if you haven't subscribed to that one, type in Retro Music Memories in the search box and hit the subscribe button so that you can see that video. But you know what? It won't be next. My next video is a retrospective looking back at Kiss's 1981 release of The Elder, which is one of my favorite Kiss albums. I think there's 3 of us that like that album. But so that's my next video for that channel. But after that, you know what? I think Vince Welnick is an appropriate topic. Great suggestion. Thank you so much. John H. says, Betty was on TV for 10 consecutive decades. 1939. So, okay, experimental broadcast in California back in 39. So that's 1. She's in the 40s, the 50s. Let me move my hand back over here. The 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 2010, 2000. You are absolutely correct. Wow. That's incredible. Great factoid, John H. Thank you for sharing. Superfan Tracy Rothmeyer says, my fave is Life with Elizabeth. That is a fun show. I actually think I like Date with the Angels a little bit more if we're talking about 50s Betty White. But you know what? To each their own. I said this in a comment to someone today. Variety is the spice of life. Let's see. Vince Welnick, by the way, getting back to that request by McGanahan. After he left the Tubes, joined the Grateful Dead and toured with them for a number of years. And just a great musician, an all-around great guy, and unfortunately took his life a few years back. Karen Lee Maloney, welcome to the live stream. Jessica Kasumi, welcome to the live stream. Did I ever see Betty on Match Game with Gene Rayburn? Holy heck, yes, I did. I loved Betty on Match Game. I'm a big Match Game fan, but Betty was one of the, along with Charles Nelson Riley and Richard Dawson, there were just so many great people on that show. TJ921 Abel says, thank you for Electric Company Spider-Man. I hear some of that music on my Marvel pinball machine. Yes, do they have Electric Company Spider-Man music on the Marvel pinball machine? That would be so cool. Let's see. Yes, Pat points out that the radio show is on WBHF if you want to catch that on Saturday mornings. Superfan Lisa Fields is here with us. Good to have you with us tonight, Lisa. Thanks for joining. And Jessica Kasumi says she was quite quirky when she worked off Richard Dickie Dawson. Oh, absolutely. Wendy F. Litton, welcome to the live stream tonight. Good to have you here. Diabetic Honeybee, welcome as well. Look up the pet set. We shall do. BK on the air says, being a big ELO fan, I got introduced to the Tubes on the Xanadu soundtrack. Yeah. You know what? The funny thing is, I was a big Tubes fan and didn't realize that they were actually in Xanadu the very first time I watched Xanadu. It caught me totally by surprise because, you know, it's one of those things where they're not really playing their own music. And it's a little bit different, but it's so cool now to go back and watch that show and see the Tubes in it. David CT says, I only dropped by to say Golden Girls was awesome. Betty White was beautiful. I am so glad you stopped by to say that. And Ruth Ann Blank says that on her actual birthday, I'm donating to my local Humane Society in memory of Betty White. There's something called the Betty White Challenge that's out there right now, particularly on Twitter. You'll read a lot about this. And people are being challenged to, on Betty's birthday, make a charitable donation to some sort of, you know, whether it's a local Humane Society or any other cause geared towards the benefit of animals. And I think it's a really wonderful idea and a worthy effort. Nick Mamonis, good to have you with us. Anthony C. Brown says, YouTube video, Betty White, This Is Your Life. In 1987, Ed Asner, Valerie Harper, Mary Tyler Moore, Gavin McLeod. Sounds like something I need to check out. Thanks for the tip. Blachu Bear says, hey, Dave, here's a question off the topic of the late, great Betty White. Will you do a video on the show Carter Country and how underrated Richard Paul was as an actor? It's a great suggestion. I will add it to my potential topics list. I've been meaning to do something on Carter Country. I hadn't thought about doing anything on Richard Paul, but he certainly was a funny actor. Let's see. BK on the air says Betty White was on the Match Game, and I think that's my favorite appearances that she made on television. They were so good, and she was so quick, such a quick wit. Such a quick, weird wit. I'm reading Pat's comic. He says he was a weird one, the Vince was. I don't know about, personally how he was, but I do know I felt like he was a talented musician. Odacop67, good to have you with us. And Michelle Morgan, welcome. Let's see. Sakina, you are more than welcome. Thank you for being my friend. And nice callback to the song, the music that played right at the beginning of all of the Golden Girls episodes. Originally performed by Andrew Gold, but it's one of my true or false questions. So I'm not going to go any more about that. We'll talk about that song a little bit later. Let's see. Blachu Bear says Dancing from Xanadu was the first mashup ever. It's exactly what it was. It was a mashup. Superfan Miles High says, hi, Dave. I will be donating 2 on her birthday. Excellent. And I would encourage anybody that can afford to do that, that thinks about doing that, to do that. It's a great way to remember Betty, and certainly a worthy cause. And Sakina, how could I forget Brett Summers? She was so good on that show as well. Wife of Quincy. What's the guy's name? It was in The Odd Couple. I can't believe. Jack Klugman. Terry Lee Mercer says, I will forever miss her zaniness and her devotion to animals. She was an inspiration. Looks like the Josh Sings is leaving us. Good night, Josh. Well, thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Oh, you betcha, Brian. You do good work, my friend, and it's I really enjoy listening to your podcast. So I encourage folks to search for it, find it. It's easy to find. BK on the Air. Any podcast client will have that available for you to add to or to subscribe to. And it's free. Do it. Do it today. Let's see. Odacop67 says Betty White was a national treasure and our hearts are all a little poorer for her passing. So very true. So very true. All right, we're 30 minutes in. You know what? I need to take care of some, pay the bills with some sponsors. Interestingly enough, all of these messages, I believe, might have a little bit of Betty White in them. Let's do it.
Hello, I'm Betty White. Why do I serve my husband Uncle Ben's converted rice when I could get away with instant rice? I find it tastes better, and I'm not about to sacrifice the taste he loves for convenience. It does take a little longer to prepare, but to me the taste is worth it. Why do I serve my husband Uncle Ben's converted rice instead of instant rice? Because it tastes better. And he'd leave me if I didn't. We spend millions of dollars a year keeping people in prison. Millions of dollars a year feeding and housing the homeless. But often less than $3,000 a year to send a child to school. Maybe if we spent more on education, we could spend a lot less on crime and poverty. The more you think about it, the more you know education is not only our greatest hope, it's our greatest bargain.
Saturday, a 2-hour television event comes to NBC when the Golden Girls, Empty Nest, and Nurses get hit by a
Hurricane!
One unforgettable night of drama, passion, and courage.
We're gonna die! We're gonna die! Daddy, she's hysterical! Can I slap her?
A windy 1-hour Golden Girls starts Hurricane Saturday at 8/7 Central on NBC.
There are about 60 million dogs and cats in this country, and about 60 million people who don't like either and don't have pets. Be aware of your responsibility. Be a pet owner who obeys the leash laws and won't allow their pet to run loose to annoy other people or damage property. Respect the rights of those who don't have or like pets, then they'll respect yours. A message from Betty White and the Latham Foundation.
There we go. All right. Hey, Pat McCormick is letting me know that when I'm saying it's Brian, it's Barry. Barry King. I am so sorry, Barry. You know what? It's a weird thing. You get doing these live streams and you're talking just kind of like, it's almost stream of consciousness talking, and I'm not very good at this stuff. I'm much better when I write out a script and can just read from it. But anyway, I knew that it was Barry, but my brain right at the moment, my old man brain, was telling me it was Brian. So Barry, thank you for your patience with me. And again, I wholeheartedly endorse his podcast. Let's see, I do have a super chat from John Collins. John Collins says, in 1963, the Presidential Medal of Freedom was designed, and only 647 people have ever received this honor, and even fewer have received it with distinction. Ms. White should definitely receive the Presidential Freedom with Medal of Freedom with distinction. I couldn't agree more. That is a great idea, John, and I wholeheartedly endorse it and support it. And I also want to say thank you. I showed a little bit earlier. I don't know if you were on. Let me show it one more time. That's a dang good looking shirt you're sporting there, my friend. The Stay Golden shirt. I was telling the community members that were on the stream a little bit earlier that my son has one similar to that. But thank you for your support of the channel and the great super chat comment. Truly appreciated. Let me throw, I tend to give you a little bit of Dukes, and I'm going to follow that up with some Church Lady tonight.
Well, isn't that special?
And you know, Betty White was special, and so are you. I appreciate your support, John. Thanks so much. Great comment. Let's see. What else do we have here? Jessica Kasumi says, who thinks that Metra or Chicago's commuter rail provider should rename Oak Park Station Betty White Transportation Center? I love the idea. I love that idea. Karen Lee Maloney says, I loved Betty White and Johnny Carson on The Tonight Show. Yes, they were. And I remember that Tarzan. Apparently there were more than one. I remember one. But they were great together. And Elf Dog 100, you know, I almost included it, but it's not from the 50s, 60s, 70s, or 80s. But that Snickers ad with Betty White is so darn funny. You know, one of the things that was great about Betty was her ability to kind of just laugh at getting older and, you know, all of the pitfalls that come along with that. She was such a human, wonderful person. And I've heard so many stories about her over the past week about how kind she was to others. And, you know, everybody knows how much she loved animals, but she loved all living things, including her fellow human beings. And that's what made her so darn wonderful. TJ921 Abel says, I love animals, but it makes me angry when people don't take responsibility for their animals. I know Betty felt the same way, TJ921 Abel. There's a huge responsibility that we have, if we have pets, to take care of them. Pat says, don't feel bad, Dave. You've seen my Maverick bloopers vid. Yeah, it happens to the best of us, and you are one of the best, so it makes me feel a little bit better, Pat. Thank you. Let's see. Oh, Blachu Bear says, Karen Lee, check out Betty White and Joan Rivers dissing each other on The Tonight Show. It's on YouTube. You know, I've spent the last week just watching all sorts of Betty White clips. And I didn't click on it, but I did see one with Joan Rivers. I'll have to go back and watch that one. Let's see what else we got here. Oh, Kevin Davis, superfan Kevin Davis says, check out Betty White on SNL teasing the Lawrence Welk Show. What? Teasing the Lawrence Welk Show? You know, we might do a little Welk a little later on. Betty White, her appearance on SNL, just so great that she made that appearance. And I think that's one of my trivia questions, but we'll still talk a little bit about it. You know, she had been asked to be on that numerous times and had always turned down the offer, but she finally decided to do it. And I'm not going to say the age or the year yet, because that might be the question. I can't remember what question I put in there. But yes, she was great on that show. John H. says that Betty and Johnny also did a video satirizing California floods by being drenched once. And Rosemary Magrino says they should rename the San Diego Zoo after her. Wow, yeah, that was a great idea. The Betty White Zoo. I like that idea. And Blotchy Bear says that says NBC's repeating Betty White's SNL episode this Saturday night. Well, I'll be watching. I will be watching for sure. Daryl Johnston, good to have you with us tonight. Welcome. Drew Knight, welcome. How can Betty have never been honored by the Kennedy Center? Good gravy. That's an injustice for sure. Let's see. Mama Pink says, laugh out loud. I just put my dog on my channel. No scripts for me. I probably should, though. I babble a lot. I'm going to have to go and watch a couple of those. I think I've seen some in the past, but I need to go check it out again. Let's see. John H. says, I may watch SNL if Betty's on. I can't stand the news shows. You know, there's a lot of politics on SNL, so if you don't enjoy the political humor, and some of it I enjoy and some of it I don't, but if you don't, then I can see where it gets a little hard to watch. But certainly the Betty White episode was a fun one, and you can't go wrong with anything with Betty on it. Let's see. Oh, Pat says, please welcome cookies. Please welcome cookies. Betty's favorite snacks. Dorothea Walker, welcome to the live stream. Good to have you with us. Benjamin Adams, welcome to the live stream as well. Let's see. Nick Mamona says, I heard it was a Facebook campaign that got her on that show. I recall hearing something like that as well. Ken Murphy, thank you very much. It's the streams are hit and miss, truthfully. They are hit and miss, but it's always fun to do these. Let's see. We got another super fat. You see, that's what happens when you're just talking. Super chat. And this one's from Ken Murphy. He says, another great stream. Thank you. Well, thank you, Ken. Appreciate the support. And let me throw a little love your way. What are we going to do? Let's do... I know some of you don't like it, but I sure do enjoy this one. Let's do Ed Grimley. Blotchy Bear says, let me go back real quick. One more time. Thank you, Ken Murphy, for the super chat. I truly appreciate it. Very kind of you. Let me go to this comment. Blotchy Bear says that the SNL episode brought back Tina Fey, Maya Rudolph, other female cast members from the past. Today, SNL writing is terrible. Lorne Michaels said after the 50th season, he is gone. Well, he's been doing it an awful long time. Time to give the man a rest, whether it's great or bad or somewhere in between. He deserves a break. He tried to leave once before and the show went to pot. Yeah, a super fat. Sorry. I probably could stand not to have a super fat as well, although from time to time I enjoy them in their various forms, usually a candy bar. Let's see. Anyone, this is from Pat, ever notice she used the colossal waste of time in regard to Facebook, a line that Shatner used on the show some years earlier? Yeah, I remember that. Here we go. Matt Sweeney says, Betty White, when she was on SNL in reference to Facebook, said in her day they used the phone book and she didn't spend all day looking at it. Very funny stuff. Look at that. We have got a super sticker from Lance Chaffin. Thank you so much, Lance. Lance is a super fan and very much appreciated. Let me throw a little love your way as well. Little Steve Martin. You know what? His tweet right before the passing of Betty White just really touched me. And the ironic thing was, he tweeted that a day before anyone knew that she was struggling, that she, and I don't know what her health was like for the last few days before her passing, but no one knew she was going to pass. Steve Martin didn't know she was going to die. And yet he posted this tweet on Twitter about this interaction he'd had with Betty and her husband way back in 1974 when he was a struggling, aspiring actor, comedian, musician. And it was just wonderful. But anyways, here we go.
And now it's time for a little dance. And here we go.
As always, Lance, thank you for your support, both as a channel subscriber and also for your super sticker. Truly appreciated. Let's see. Miles High, superfan Miles High said, did I know that the guy who played the genie on Pee-wee's Playhouse died recently? I did not know that. And if I did, I'd forgotten that. I'll have to read up a little bit more about that. Let's see. Jessica Kasumi says, Super Fat, the newest movie from Marvel, rated R, in theaters. Never. Let's hope. Let's hope. Happy New Year to you, Sarah Catalano. Good to have you with us on the live stream tonight. Let's see. Got a couple of super chats. How awesome. This is from John Collins. How awesome is it that Betty lived to be 99, and yet it is said that her last words were about her husband who died in 81. That's loyalty. Absolutely, John. Absolutely. Just really, this is a woman, Ellen was the love of her life. And I don't think there was a day that went by that she didn't miss him. All right. Let's do a little bit. We talked about Shatner a minute ago. Let's do a little Shatner.
No, I thank you. And again, I thank you.
And I thank you, John Collins. Thank you so much for your support. Another super chat here. Let's see. The Life and Sad Ending. My friend Steve says, Dave, where is your silver play button award? So it's actually behind the monitor that I'm speaking to. And I need to put it up. So it'll probably end up below the Batman cowl there when I put it up. I definitely need to put it up and display it because it's something that should be shared. Because all of you as community members helped me achieve that goal, and I should have it out there when I do my live stream. So thank you for the suggestion, Steve. I truly appreciate it. Let me you know what? I feel like we ought to do a little Welk. We have talked about it. Let's do a little Welk. Pat, turn away from the screen. If you don't want this, this is a double shot of Welk. It's coming your way. Be careful. Don't say you weren't warned, Mr. McCormick.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me. Thank you. Thank you very, very, very much.
Having a hard time timing that just right. But thank you very much, Steve. Appreciated. Tom says, Dave, do you ever think about setting up a table at a convention to promote your channel? Well, no one's ever talked to me about that. I don't know if that's an option for me, for a feller like me who really, it's still a fairly small channel. But I would be open to that, particularly locally here, and maybe even like California, somewhere I could drive to. Miles High says, superfan Miles High says, Betty and Alan were soulmates, and she missed him every day, she said. So very, very true. Superfan Buddy Mills says, yeah, that was a real love story. And yes, Elf Dog 100, the Welk has happened. But the good news is it's past. We're done. We're done with the Welk unless someone demands it. All right, let's see. Pat wants to know, where's your weapons, Captain? Don't you display your weapons? I probably should. Let's see. Cindy D says, she said once you had it good. Once you have it good, you don't need it again. That's why she never married again. Words of wisdom from Betty White. Words of wisdom from Betty White. And Superfan Spike Spikerson says now she can go hang out with Gracie Allen. That would be fun to see. And she's hanging out with her Golden Girls cast members, her Mary Tyler Moore friends. There was a host of friends that were just waiting for her to join them. Oh, Pat, clever use of emojis. Oh, that's too funny. Superfan Miles High says, Cindy D, yes, she never even thought of finding anyone else. She said, love is beautiful. Pat says that he and I will set up a table together. I love it. Thank you, Superfan Pat McCormick, for the suggestion. You never know when you might see the two of us hanging out at a table. Hey, look it's my friend Scott Barnes. Love this dude. Need to get him on a live stream one of these days soon. I was thinking about that the other day, Scott. We need you back on the stream. You got to find time for me one of these weeks. Just let me know when. And Tom points out that I'm in retirement. I am in retirement. I don't know how long I'm going to stay retired, though. We'll see. Let's see. What else we got here? Let's do this. TJ921 Abel says the only cast member left is John Amos. And he wasn't really. I mean, he was on 13 episodes, right? As Gordy. But yeah, he's a last of the MTM news team that's left. All right. Let me think about this. Let's do this. Let me get right here. Let's take this off screen. Let's play a little Betty White true or false. And this is going to be fun because in between the questions and the answers, I'm going to show some tweets that came straight from Twitter about Betty White. Let me take a drink, though, real quick. And let me say, you guys are great. This is really fun for me to be able to hang out with all of you tonight and to celebrate the life of Betty White. Truly an amazing human being. All right, with that said, true or false? Betty's real name is Elizabeth White. Now, you can just lock it in your head if you want, or you can have at it and post it in the chat. You can do what you want. True or false? Betty White's real name is Elizabeth White. I'll give folks a minute. Let me see what we got let's see. John Collins says Betty should be honored with a channel on Pluto. I mean, if Price Right can get their own channel, she should have her own channel, especially now, at least for a little while, right? At least for a little bit. That would be a great idea. You know, Pluto tends to have these seasonal channels. What a great idea that would be when someone as beloved as Betty passes away, to have a channel that just plays nonstop shows from their career. All right, so let's see. I'm going to give folks about 5 more seconds. Seeing lots of truths, seeing lots of falses. True or false, Betty White's real name is Elizabeth White. And the correct answer is Betty White's real name is Betty White. So false is the correct answer there. Her parents did not name her Elizabeth. They named her Betty Marion White. All right, Lance Chafin, good to have you with us. I mean, Lance Chaffin, go eat something. The ladies are going to miss you, but thanks for joining us in the live stream tonight. Mark M, no, it was Betty Marion White, not Elizabeth Marion White. It was false. And Superfan Dave Claroni, I don't know if I've welcomed you. I just saw your name pop up. Good to have you with us. And Mr. Led, welcome. Good to have you with us, joining us late. But, you know, better late than never. And we've only done one question so far. So awesome to have you here. Robert Dregoff, good to have you with us as well. Here we go. Oh, here's a cartoon I found on Twitter that I love. And this was tweeted out by a Twitter user named FI. And she says, very true indeed. But the cartoon says, it says so much about your life and legacy if people think you died too soon at 99. Can you imagine that? People think you died too soon at 99. That says everything about your life. All right. Great tweet, FI. Thank you so much for sharing that with everyone over on Twitter. Second question, true or false? Betty originally auditioned for the role of Blanche on The Golden Girls. All right, I'm going to take a swig of my Diet Coke, and I'm going to let everybody either just think of it in your head or you can throw it into the chat. I don't care. While we do that, Brenda Krieger says a toast to Betty. Absolutely. Here's to you, Betty White. Stu Sasser, welcome. Says, hello from Georgia. Love me some Utah. Betty White shocked me in her role in the movie Lake Placid. I never heard a woman her age use such language. It was hilarious. I miss her very much. Great comment, Stu. Again, true or false, Betty originally auditioned for the role of Blanche on TV's The Golden Girls. Uh-oh. Looks like Cindy may have already shared that info. See, a lot of my trivia questions get shared during the chat, and so that just happens. Let's see. Spike Spikerson, superfan Spike Spikerson says Lake Placid is so much horrible fun. Absolutely. And TJ921 Abel says, I raised my orange drink glass in her memory. Thanks for the toast. Awesome. All right. And Mama Pink says cheers to Betty and raises her bottle of water. Dark Solera, good to have you with us on the live stream tonight. Thanks for joining us. Okay. And here we go. The correct answer, let me say that again without covering my face. The correct answer to Betty originally auditioned for the role of Blanche on The Golden Girls is true. And Rue McClanahan originally auditioned for the role of Rose. And, as they were auditioning, folks realized that the two of them, Rue was much better as Blanche and Betty was going to be a perfect Rose. So one of the things they said is that, Betty had already played kind of a man-hungry person on the Mary Tyler Moore Show when she played the character of Sue Ann Nivens. And they felt that maybe she would be better off playing against that instead of a similar type character. Kevin Davis says, I just can't see Rue as Rose. I struggle with that one as well, for sure. Double B says, I just found out today that character actor Nehemiah Pershoff is 102 years old. Holy cow. That is old. I don't think I realized that he was that old as well. Van Pasterman says, I'm so glad she didn't get the role of Blanche. Rose was so much different than Sue Ann. Absolutely. Absolutely. She was perfect for it. That's why she was nominated every year. Okay. TJ921 Abel says Rue was closer to Blanche's personality in real life as well. That makes sense. And let's see. What do we got from Twitter here? This is from Alan Alda, who says, Betty White left us just short of her 100th birthday, an exit that still came too soon. We weren't finished loving her. We talked on Clear and Vivid, I should say, 2 years ago. She was wonderful. You can listen here. Folks, I know we're talking about Betty tonight, but as long as I've got Alan's tweet up, that's a great podcast too. So you got two podcasts to subscribe to tonight. BK on the Air. That's the first one. That's if you only have room on your podcast queue for one more, add that one. Barry would appreciate it, I know. But if you got room for one more podcast, check out Alan Alda's Clear and Vivid podcast. It's pretty good. I enjoy the conversation. Okay. Next question. True or false? Betty once appeared in a television commercial with Jimi Hendrix. All right, we'll give folks a minute or two to think through that one. Probably not a minute or two, probably like 30 seconds. We're already getting really close to the hour mark, and we've got quite a few more questions to get through. So let's keep rolling and do this quickly. And while we're waiting, let me see. Yeah, TJ921, Abel. I like the way Alan put that too, right? And I love Alan Alda. I'm right there with you, Chacho. I love Alan Alda. I know, his politics aren't for everyone, but I love the man. I think he's an intelligent human being, and I think he's continued to be a force, not the same way that he was, during his heyday on MASH, but a force in the entertainment and information industry. All right. What else do we got here? Let me see if there's any more comments I can put up on the screen while we are. Yeah, Mr. Led says it's so weird to check out the grocery store and see all of the magazines celebrating Betty. And what we're going to see is magazines right now that that were, went to publication before her passing, that talk about her 100th birthday. And then next week or the week after that, we're going to see the next edition of these magazines talking about her passing. So it is kind of odd right now. It's an odd time. All right, correct answer for this one is no, false. That's why the guy's got his thumb down there. However, Betty did appear in a TV commercial with Slash from Guns N' Roses. And there's a screenshot from that. Roxy posted this to Twitter, and she said, "This video of Betty White and Slash lives in my mind rent-free." Betty was, she was comfortable with actors of many different eras, right? She was comfortable with Alan Alda, and then she could be comfortable with Ryan Reynolds or Slash. And that just speaks to her talent and what a great human being she was. All right, let's keep moving. True or false? Here's a good one. Betty sang the Golden Girls theme song, "Thank You for Being a Friend." Now, keep in mind earlier we were talking about this, and it was originally, "Thank You for Being a Friend" was originally recorded by Andrew Gold. He wrote it and recorded it, and I believe it was a top 40 hit. But Andrew didn't sing it over the title credits on the Golden Girls. It was sung by someone else. Could be Betty White, could be someone else. So true or false? Did Betty sing the Golden Girls theme song, "Thank You for Being a Friend"? She had a marvelous voice, by the way. Brenda Krieger says, "When I learned about her passing, I thought it was a cruel joke." Sakina asks, "Is Dave short for David?" Dave, yes, it is. It absolutely is. Let's see what else we got here. Kimberly Wiederhold's here as well. Welcome, Kimberly. Good to have you with us on the live stream this evening. The question is, true or false, did Betty White sing the Golden Girls theme song, "Thank You for Being a Friend"? And the correct answer is false. The song was originally recorded by Andrew Gold, but on this TV show was sung by Cynthia Fee. Pat McCormick points out that you can go to your TuneIn app on Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern, find WBHF Radio, and listen to BK on the air live. And it's, like he says, it's our kind of stuff. And, Barry King is really good at it. You'll enjoy his show immensely if you enjoy what Pat and I do. So thanks for pointing that out, Pat. Sakina says that it was Gloria. No, Gloria Loring did sing many theme songs, but it was sung by Cynthia Fee. Let's see. TJ921 Abel says, "When I learned of her passing, I didn't think it was true." Yeah, me too. When my wife made me aware that she was seeing posts that Betty had passed, I didn't believe it. Stu Sasser says that MeTV will honor Betty White on Sunday with a 2-hour presentation of some of her best episodes of the Golden Girls and Mama's Family. Great. Thanks for pointing that out, Stu. And Robert Dragoff says, in spite of her age, her passing was so sudden. Absolutely correct. All right. Another tweet was from the Hollywood Reporter. "Fans left flowers and mementos near Betty White's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame." Yeah. As you can imagine, folks wanted to find a way, even after her passing, to connect with her in some way. And so lots of folks made their way down to that star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame and left flowers and other things there to show their support. Spike Spikerson says, "Usually Dave is short for Ezekiel." That's true. That is true. But I decided, what the heck? Let's just go with it being short for David. Good point, though, superfan Spike Spikerson. And let's see. Let's keep moving. True or false? Betty White was the oldest person to ever host Saturday Night Live. True or false? Betty White was the oldest person to ever host Saturday Night Live. Go ahead and lock that in. Looks like John Collins is going to see the documentary on the 17th. Is that the one that's going to be at the movie theaters where you can go? And it was going to be Betty's birthday celebration, and now it's going to be more of a celebration of a life. Chacho says, Dave, thank you for this stream. Rest in peace, Betty White. I still love you. Well, you're welcome, and I agree with all sentiments. Oh, there you go. John H. says that Gloria Loring sang the Facts of Life theme. Her ex-husband, Alan Thicke, wrote it. There you go. Jill Carter, superfan Jill Carter, says, so sad. Very true. And superfan Dave Claroni says the Betty White Snickers commercial was gold. It was one of the funniest I've ever seen. Superfan Superplex, a.k.a. Dave, says they should show her Today Show appearances. Anything that Betty White was on. Now's the time to rebroadcast them. Absolutely. Drew Knight says, Dave, did you see Betty Rosandra on the Screen Actors Lifetime Achievement Awards? I haven't seen that. And if I have, I've forgotten. But I bet I can find it on YouTube and watch it again. So thanks for the heads up. All right, getting back to the question. True or false? Betty White was the oldest person to ever host Saturday Night Live. You know what? I just realized you guys don't need to see my big mug. Can we make? There we go. Look at that. That's much better. You guys can see the question better. You don't have to stare at my mug the way you were before there. Let's do that for a little while. But true or false? Betty White was the oldest person to ever host Saturday Night Live. That is true. Betty was 88 when she hosted Saturday Night Live in 2010. And for those folks who are joining late, we were talking in the chat a little bit earlier about the fact that NBC is going to rerun the Saturday Night Live that Betty hosted in 2010 this Saturday night. So definitely, for me, that will be can't miss viewing. I've seen it before, and I recently watched clips again, but I'll watch the whole thing again just as a way of celebrating Betty's incredible life. Okay. Mike Fiore says, when I heard of her passing, I was shocked Betty was planning her 100th birthday. Yeah, there was this theater event they were having, where they have recently my brother and I went and saw the director's cut of Rocky IV, where you pay a little bit more than normal and you go with a crowd. And then there's typically, like, Stallone was live ahead of time. It was a satellite transmission ahead of the movie, and it was a Q&A with Stallone, and it's a special event. I think they call them Fathom events. And they were going to have one for Betty where she was going to be live, and we were going to have this huge birthday celebration with Betty. And now it's going to turn into a celebration of a life. Scott says that piece on CBS Sunday Morning on Betty White was awesome. Yeah, I saw that as well. And I think, Scott, the fact that we watch CBS Sunday Morning, that kind of shows our age right there. Clearly, the target demographic for that news program on Sunday mornings on CBS is it's us. It's us, my friend. Let's see. Pat says, that's true. Rest in peace, sweet Betty. Love you guys. One and all need to sign off. Hey, take care, Pat. Have a good one, my friend. We'll talk to you soon. Let's see what else we got. Lamont Bradford points out that Alan Thicke also sung the Different Strokes theme. And yes, he did pass not too long ago, dying in 2016. Cindy D says, did you see Henry Winkler on CNN? I have such a loving tribute to her. I haven't seen Henry on CNN. This guy, we got to block this feller. I don't know who this feller is, but I suspect he's someone we want to get rid of. So let me do that really quick. Block user. Okay. Let's see. Ruth Ann Blank says Betty White and Abe Vigoda Super Bowl commercial. Two great actors, right? Two great actors. All right. We need to get back to the quiz. Jason Goldtrup, superfan Jason Goldtrup, says Betty White has a video on YouTube in which she sings a lovely voice. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And earlier, by the way, Jason, I shared that Match Game Productions video. And I didn't share the video itself, but the channel that's on, so folks can go and visit that. So thanks for the heads up. Thanks for pointing me in that direction. Okay. Kimberly Wiederhold, by the way, says, look up David Letterman top 10 with Betty White. Will do right after the live stream. Okay, let's get back to the questions. Oh, one more little Twitter thing. Do folks know, do folks realize that Betty did serve The U.S. Army posted, "We are saddened by the passing of Betty White. Not only was she an amazing actress, she also served during World War II as a member of the American Women's Voluntary Services. A true legend on and off the screen." So, yeah. The accolades just keep pouring in, and what a wonderful lady. Sarah Catalano says, "So sad. She was looking forward to her 100th birthday." She was indeed. She was indeed. Yeah, Sandra Bullock. Absolutely. Let's see. Chacho Chardo says, "I like CBS Sunday Morning. I just don't get up that early to watch it." We record it on TiVo. We don't get up quite that early on Sundays either. And if we do, we're doing other things, but we usually watch it around 10 or 11 a.m. local time here. Let's see. Let's keep moving. True or false? Betty was nominated for an Emmy every year that the Golden Girls was on the air. I gave that one away earlier, so go ahead and lock that in your head or lock that in the chat. Let's see. Reading some of the comments here. Blotchy Bear says, "When I saw NBC News did a story on People magazine on Betty's 100th on the 27th, I said to my other half, oh, I don't know, too soon. Then saw the news on her death a few days later. I knew it was too soon." Yeah, that's just, you got to knock on wood when you do those things. Seeing lots of good answers here. Double B says, "Dave, that's some spam you blocked. I see it in several chats, not saying you should or shouldn't, but lots are using subscribers only in chats." Oh, interesting. I'll have to check that out. Thanks for pointing that out. Sakina says, "Betty White had an amazing smile with the cutest dimples," for sure. And Lisa says, "It seems that her passing is bringing people together." I believe that to be true. And The Life and Sad Ending said, "Nobody cared about Norman Lloyd when he died this year at 106. Here's the sad part. I don't know if I remember who Norman Lloyd was, Steve. You need to help me out on that one. Did you do a video on that one? Because if you did, I'll go watch it, because clearly it sounds like someone I should have known. Let's see. Yeah, I did give the answer to this question earlier. Thank you for paying attention, Mama Pink. All right. And the correct answer to whether or not Betty was nominated for an Emmy every year that the Golden Girls was on the air is true. Betty won the Best Comedic Actress Emmy for her work on the Golden Girls in 1986. So, all right, let's keep rolling. Oh, Norman Lloyd was on St. Elsewhere. Okay. And TJ921 Abel says, "We cared, loved Norman Lloyd on St. Elsewhere." Lots of folks are correcting me on this one, or informing me is better said. I just didn't know, but thank you for that. Sounds like someone I need to learn a little bit more about. Appreciate that. Let's see. Lots and lots of comments about Norman. Stu Sasser says, "CBS Sunday Morning was better with Charles Kuralt and Charles Osgood. Jane Pauley has brought a lot of politics to the show that I think distract from the quality of the show." I don't know about that. I mean, I guess we can differ on that one a little bit. I mean, I feel like there's always been some politics with, I think the networks, ABC, NBC, CBS, they are, you go to CNN and MSNBC and you get a little bit of a liberal bias, the same way you go to Fox and Newsmax and you get a conservative bias. And I think to the extent you get a little bit of a liberal bias because journalists by nature are a little bit liberal when you watch any of those news shows. And certainly as the world has changed, they have changed along with us. So yeah, it doesn't bug me. I still think it's a great show, and I don't mind Jane as a host. But great comment, and something for me to reflect on. It's an interesting comment you made. Okay. Let's see. Blotchy Bear says, talking about the Golden Girls, you need to do a video on NBC's glory days during the 80s. Yeah, they had a really wonderful time. Must-see TV for sure on Thursday nights in particular. The Life and Sad Ending says that Charles Kuralt had a secret family. Sordid, sad story. I added the sad part. That's interesting. I did not know that. Huh. Yes, Jane Pauley is still alive and hosting CBS Sunday Morning. Yes, no politics. That's right. We need to keep this place politics free. It's important. John Collins says, you know how famous and popular Betty White was? She and her scene is the only thing people remember from the movie Lake Placid. Yes, there you go. And Cindy D says that B. Arthur was jealous because Betty won the Emmy first. You know, it's interesting. That was an interesting relationship. I did a video on it, and at some point I might redo it because I have some more thoughts, and I think I've refined my thinking on their relationship a little bit more. But I think she was a little bit jealous. Okay. Different picture of the same place that I showed earlier. And this one's from Aaron Pierce. Good picture. Thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, true or false? Betty loved animals and junk food. True or false? Betty loved animals and junk food. Jason Coldrap says people don't watch CBS Sunday morning to get away from politics. You know what? I think that probably those of us that watch that show would appreciate it if it was neutral when it comes to politics, not taking one side or the other. John H. says, I have Brandon Tartikoff's book. I read it after he died. I have not read that book. Let's see. TJ921 Abel says he liked Kuralt and Osgood, but Jane is good too. And here's a question by Jason Goldtrap, super fan Jason Goldtrap. Whatever happened to the kid from the Golden Palace? Holy cow, that is a good question. Let's see. The super fan Superplex said that Lindbergh had a secret family. Holy cow, what's up with all these secret families things? One family's enough. I couldn't handle having another family, let alone having it be a secret family. Okay. I see lots of folks have put their answers into the chat. And one more comment here. Mama Pink, superfan Mama Pink says, I bet you couldn't find one person on the entire planet who could or would say they don't like Betty. It should be, what would Betty do? I love it. That's funny. Okay, the correct answer is true. Betty's work on behalf of animals is legendary, but she also loved hot dogs, red vines, French fries, and, you got it, Diet Coke. Jimmy Fallon posted this on Twitter the other day. He says, Betty White was the perfect guest. Interested, playful, and funny. She loved animals, invited my puppy on the show. She loved to play games, password, quite obvious. And I even played beer pong with her. She always knew how to hit her mark and deliver the joke. A class act. I loved Betty White. Great tweet from Jimmy Fallon. Hey, Scott, thanks for joining us. It was great to have you with us this evening. Like I said, let's get you on the live stream soon, buddy. Okay. Oops. Boy, oh boy, did I blow that. True or false? Did Betty love hosting parades? True or false? Betty loved hosting parades. And yes, Spike, Diet Coke is the key to a long life. I'm going to stick with that because I love Diet Coke so much. Blotchy Bear says, I'm surprised Diet Coke didn't ask Betty to be a spokesperson. Yeah, they should have. What a missed opportunity for them. And Superfan Tracy Rothmeyer says she was the last of kind. Superfan John Collins says she also loved vodka. I'm seeing a lot of answers in here. Let's go ahead and keep moving forward. So the true or false, Betty loved hosting parades. That is true. Over the years, Betty hosted the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade as well as the Tournament of Roses Parade. And when she was taken off that think it was the Macy's Thanksgiving Parade. She was taken off that because it was on another network besides NBC, and the Golden Girls was going strong, and they put one of their own actors, with the actor with a show on said network. I think it was CBS. Anyway, it just broke Betty up that she could no longer host that parade. She really missed it, and it was quite bittersweet for her to watch that parade from home. So anyway, let's see what we got here. Another tweet, this time from Ben Crump. He's a noted civil rights lawyer. He says, wow, Betty White refused to drop black dancer Arthur Duncan's spot on the Betty White Show in the 50s after facing threats to cancel her show. Her over 80-year impact on television and kind-hearted spirit will be missed. So yeah, Betty had Arthur Duncan on her show as a guest, and she got tremendous pressure to cancel his appearance. And she said, no. She said, whatever happens, happens, but I'm not going to remove this person from the show simply because of the color of his skin. And you know what? It wasn't long after that the show was canceled, but Arthur made his appearance on the show, and that was due to Betty White and Betty White's strong beliefs and her kindness as a human being. All right, let's keep moving. True or false? Betty White was only supposed to be on the first episode of Hot in Cleveland. Yeah, Tom points out that Arthur Duncan was on Welk. Absolutely. So does TJ921 Abel. Good job. Good job. Drew Knight said, red vines, baby, the stuff of life. Yeah, my wife loves the red vines too. It is yummy, but I'm more of a Twizzler fan myself. Mike Fiore says he loves the YouTube channel. Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate the kind words and appreciate you joining us on the live stream tonight. I appreciate everyone that's here with us and hanging out. And you know what? You've been with me for an hour and 20 minutes, many of you right now, and I appreciate your willingness to stick with me to the very, very end as we work through the final few questions here. So the question is, again, true or false, Betty White was only supposed to be in the first episode of Hot in Cleveland, and the correct answer is true. The audience loved Betty so much that the producers decided to make her a regular cast member. All right, let's keep moving. Oh, speaking of Hot in Cleveland, here's Valerie Bertinelli's tweet upon learning about Betty's passing. She said, rest in peace, sweet Betty. My God, how bright heaven must be right now. Well said. Well said. John H. says Betty White's 1954 show went off the air on December 31st, 1954. She said she didn't have time to feel sorry for herself because she had to host the Rose Parade the next morning. Love it. Love it. Yeah, thanks for sticking around, Danny. Appreciate it. Thank you, Tom. Thanks to everyone who's sticking around. All right. Let's keep moving. Okay, true or false? Betty's final word was Alan. True or false? Betty's final word was Alan. All right, looks like we're getting a lot of answers. I'm not going to wait too long on this one. I think lots of folks know the answer to this one. TJ921 Abel says, thanks for doing this. It helps us through the pain of her loss. You're very welcome. It helps me through, helps me work through it as well. And it really, I just want to celebrate what a wonderful life this lady had. Only 257 says, been watching without logging in since you started this chat. Great. Good to have you with us here. She did die in her sleep. Good question there, Mama Pink. Super fan, Mama Pink. But I have that same question. Like, if her who knows what her final word was if she died in her sleep. But let's talk a little bit about that. But let me give the answer first. So, oops, there we go. True. Betty met the love of her life, Alan Ludden, while appearing as a guest on Password. And it is reported that Betty's last word was Alan. And what my understanding is that she had an assistant that was bedside with her. Apparently there was some concern about her health there. It wasn't a total shock to everyone. And there was an assistant who was bedside with her throughout the night. And there was some conversation or some talking in her sleep, that kind of thing. And it was there where the last thing that assistant heard and reported publicly was Betty saying the name Alan. So that's the explanation that I could gather as I kind of read through some of the articles and in over on Twitter where this has been widely reported. So that's how we're going to go with that. And Cindy D asks, did she see him? Who's to say? It's possible she did. It's possible that he came to get her. So, but what we do know is that he was, regardless, he was always on her mind, and no more so than during her final hours. There you go, Spike. We made you cry a little bit. So, what a wonderful lady. Danny Staten says, I don't know about that. My last word will probably start with F. Depends on how you go, Danny. Depends on how you go. Sakina says, that's just another reason why we love Betty. She stood in her ground. And Emily has this explanation. She says, my take is she was on her deathbed, mentioned Alan, fell asleep, and that was it. That's possible as well. Miles High, Superfan Miles High says Alan was there to help her cross. Drew Knight points out that I need you to hit that like button. Yeah, show me some love. Hit that like button. And let's look at one more tweet. This one was from E! News, who said, Betty White's last words have been revealed. Her late husband's name. And there's more information on it. This is from Vicki Lawrence that actually said her assistant said the last word out of her mouth was Alan. All right, folks, let me know how you did. I've got some scores already in here. Let me see if I can report them out real quick. We got Superfan Superplex was 8 of 10. Kenneth Wilkinson was 9 of 10. Superfan Buddy Mills was 8 of 10. Superfan Lisa Fields, 8 of 10. Boy, you guys know you're Betty White. Nick Momonis was 8 of 10. Only 257 was 4 of 7. Superfan Mama Pink says, I think he would have waited to get her after her 100th. And Blotchy Bear says, Carol Burnett's daughter, Jodie Hamilton, said on the Stephanie Miller show that she debunked the rumor that Betty said that, but who knows? That's right. Who really knows? It's being reported that over time, I guess we'll really know for sure. Or maybe we never will. Only 257 says his last or their last word will be killdozer. Tom thinks that she was talking in her sleep. That's what I kind of think. Let's see if we got some more scores. Matt Sweeney says 10 of 10. We will miss you, Betty. TJ921 Abel, 8 of 10. Chacho Pichardo, 9 of 10. Good job. Superfan Mama Pink, 9 of 10. Superfan Kevin Davis, 9 of 10. Thresh Pondo Ponds, 9 of 10. You know what? You really don't need to keep track. If you just had fun answering the questions as we went through the live stream, that's the way to go. Kimberly Wiederhold, 10 of 10. Good job, Kimberly. Emily says she had no idea how she did. That's the thing. Just have fun. You don't have to keep track of the score unless you want to. Superfan Jill of Carter, 10 of 10. Good job. Steve didn't keep score, but he just liked when he plays golf. That's probably a good idea. Superfan Miles High, 7 of 10. Cindy D, 8 for 10. Daryl Johnston, 10 of 10. Mark M, 8 of 10. Superfan Dave Claroni, 8 of 10. Superfan Georgia Ayers, 9 of 10. Thomas McCluskey, 9 of 10. Superfan Jill Carter, 10 of 10. Superfan Tracy Roth Myers, 8 of 10. Ruth Ann Blank got them all, 10 of 10. Danny Staten got all 10, of course. John Collins got 9 of 10. I tricked him up with the Jimi Hendrix question. Karen Lester got 7 of 10. Yeah, that first question was a little difficult for sure. Yeah, and that's the most important thing, Mr. Led. Who cares what the score was? Did you enjoy the conversation? That's the thing that I think is most important. And John H. was 9 of 10. All right, guys, an hour and a half. That's how long we've been sitting here remembering, celebrating the amazing life of Betty White. Let me just state my gratitude to Betty for the hours and hours, days and days, if you add it all together, of entertainment that she's provided me over the years. Truly appreciated. And I also want to express my appreciation to all of you for joining me during this live stream tonight. The chat has been incredible. It always is. And here's the thing that I love. I absolutely love going back after the fact, because it's hard for me. It's hard for me to keep track of everything that's going on in the chat while I'm trying to push buttons on my computer and get everything on the screen the right way. But I can't wait to go back and just watch the live stream myself. I'll get a little critical. I can't believe I said super fat instead of super chat, but I'll get a little critical about some of those things. But more importantly, I will get to really read the chat and go back and just kind of hang out with you guys. I won't be able to interact because it'll all be a replay, but I'll enjoy it. And the reason I'll enjoy it is because each one of you have something valuable to share. You're great, valued members of this community. So thank you for joining me this evening. As was mentioned earlier, if you enjoyed the live stream, I would appreciate it if you gave it a thumbs up. And, if you haven't, for some crazy reason, subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate that as well. I talk about music, movies, and, mostly TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. The good stuff. And it's but the most important thing, and the thing that I would want everyone to know as we put a bow on this live stream tonight, is that you are appreciated. I truly value each one of you as community members. So with that, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'll throw the Fonz on here, maybe a couple appreciative thank you messages, and who knows what else we might have on the way out. But this is, if you want a formal ending to the live stream, this is it. Once again, folks, thank you so much for joining in, and have a great remainder of the week. We'll talk to you all soon.
Hey folks, if you're enjoying this live stream, be like the Fonz and give it a thumbs up. Hey.
Thank you very much.
You are special.
Hey folks, if you're enjoying this live stream, be like the Fonz and give it a thumbs up. Hey.
I know she was 99, and it feels weird to say that her passing was unexpected, but this feels so wrong. Folks, I am deeply saddened to share the news that various media outlets are reporting that Betty White has died. Apparently, Los Angeles Police Department spokesman Mike Lopez announced earlier today that officers responded to a radio call at about 9:30 a.m. this morning concerning a natural death investigation at Betty's home in Brentwood, California. Darn it all, less than 3 weeks before Betty was to celebrate her 100th birthday. Now it appears that she's decided to go hang out with her Mary Tyler Moore colleagues Gavin MacLeod and Ed Asner, who died earlier this year. I know Betty best from this show, the 80s sitcom classic The Golden Girls. I just want to state for the record that I think all four of these ladies were just the best. Their chemistry, the way they worked together, well, it was really a thing of beauty. The Golden Girls debuted on NBC in 1985, and for the next 7 years, regardless of your age, fans, both young and old, were delighted by the chemistry of the core four actresses, Rue McClanahan, Estelle Getty, Bea Arthur, and especially Betty White. Betty would go on to win an Emmy for her portrayal of sweet-natured Rose Nyland, and she was nominated in the Best Outstanding Actress in a Comedy category every year that the show was on the air. Long before the Golden Girls, Betty had been a television pioneer, gracing the small screen during the 50s, 60s, and 70s. It was during that decade, the 70s, that her star really started to shine, at least with me, with the character of Sue Ann Nivens on The Mary Tyler Moore Show. Later on, Betty would also be the first woman to win a daytime Emmy for hosting a game show. Truthfully, was there anything that this woman couldn't do? Just yesterday, I stumbled across this tweet from Steve Martin on Twitter. He said, in 1974, I was an obscure opening act for Linda Ronstadt at the Troubadour in Los Angeles. Passing through the lobby before the show, I saw Betty and her husband, Alan Ludden, waiting in line. I loved Betty White, so I went up to them. I am so honored to meet you both. And then I said, isn't Linda great? Betty said, we came to see you. And I said, why? Because we heard you were funny. I was elated. That tweet came from Steve Martin just yesterday. Folks, I could go on and on for hours about Betty White, and I probably will on some future live stream, but the only other thing that I'm going to say today is that we have just lost one of the entertainment industry's absolute best. Betty White was the real deal, kind, caring, and extremely talented. I can't remember a single episode of any show, whether it was The Golden Girls, Hot in Cleveland, The Mary Tyler Moore Show, or even going way back, A Date with the Angels, where Betty didn't make me laugh. Alright, now it's your turn. Please share your memories of Betty in the comments section, and as always, I would appreciate it if you clicked on the thumbs up icon and that little subscribe button. I talk about music, movies, and mostly TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s. You know, the good stuff. But most importantly, and as always, thank you so much for watching.
What are we drinking, my lords?
We're looking over an orange soda, the Shasta that we adore. You really should try it, the flavor's just right.
Orange soda, just one of 14 great Shasta flavors.
Oh, you're looking over an orange soda, the Shasta that we adore. You're looking over an orange soda, the Shasta that we adore.
Welcome, freshmen, to Montclair High School. This year, this class is special because this year, this class is challenged.
Oh, great.
How come it's so big? Are you gonna be late? Why does everyone look older than you? Do you have a pass?
I'm looking for my homeroom.
I need your pass.
I'm new here.
I need your pass. Why can't you go in the right direction? How come you just don't know what to do?
Welcome to Agronomy 2.
Whoops. By the end of the day, you're finding your place, learning the ropes, learning the pace. Time to get away to a familiar place. It's a good time for the great day.
50 pages tonight? Oh, great.
It's a good time for the great day.
Tomorrow will be better.
You mean we gotta go back? McDonald's.
chance, striking it rich or finding romance. Come on along to the place where you belong. Come on along with ABC. We're reaching out, it's you and me. Come on along with ABC. Every generation, whatever mood you're in, let's all get together and let the fun begin. From the folks out in the country to the cities along the way, we're reaching out to all of you all across the USA. Come on along with ABC. We're reaching out, it's you and me. Come on along with ABC. Come on along with ABC. We're reaching out, it's you and me. Come on along with
Secret agent T.R. Sloan takes on the beautiful but deadly seduction squad.
Can't wait. Busy.
Robert Conrad outbonds Bond as a man called Sloan.
When you heard the news of Michael Jackson's passing, what was your reaction?
Shock. Shock. I still am in shock. I still can't believe that he's gone. He was so amazing.
Yeah. What do you remember about him? You guys actually dated when you were young.
We did date. We dated when I was 16, when I was driving. I had a chocolate brown 220 diesel Mercedes car that I used to drive up to the Jacksons' house, to their gate.
And you'd pick up Michael?
And I would pick up Michael in my little Mercedes diesel that I was like so embarrassed to even be in. And we would go out and we would...
How old was he at the time?
Well, let's see, if I was 16, he was 13, 14.
Oh, younger men.
Cougar, definitely, yes. yeah. And I was just absolutely in love with Michael Jackson. I thought he was the greatest star ever. I couldn't even believe that here I am, little Maureen McCormick from the Valley, driving up to the Jackson 5 house and going inside and hanging out.
And Michael was like, here comes Marsha Brady.
I wish. I mean, I don't know.
I'm sure he was.
But I definitely had a huge crush on him. And we kissed. And
on the lips?
On the lips.
Ah, a little peck action.
A little peck action, yeah. It was closed, but it was on the lips.
Okay.
But... yeah, I thought he was the greatest thing in the world. I really did. I used to go hang out at their house. They had a family room, and I remember being with his parents. They were always kind of there, and I always kind of felt like I was being watched, like I wasn't good enough or something for, to be hanging with Michael.
The parents made you feel that way?
I don't know if it was them or my lack of self-esteem or what, but I was just aware that this guy was such a big star.
Could you tell they were as strict as everybody said they were?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they were very, very strict. They ran a really, really tight ship. Music was their life. Music was everything. I mean, Michael talked about music all the time with me and his moves and his, he would dance for me. And we once went ice skating together at the Topanga Plaza. It used to be an ice rink there, and I remember going around the rink and holding hands with him, and it was really, I was in love. I thought I was going to maybe be Mrs. Michael Jackson.
Aww.
Yeah, I definitely could have been. I would
so
have
he
loved
seemed
it.
very much like a normal kid to you.
Yeah, he seemed I think he always seemed younger than he really was. And I think I was younger than I really was, and maybe that's why we were so connected. I think a lot of times child stars develop slower than normal people. And but we related so well. And he was, you know, he was like a little boy. He was very, very innocent, very naive, just so full of wonder, you know, everything.
The new Kiss album. Music from the Elder.
World without heroes.
The Legend of the Elder. Conceived, written, and performed by Kiss on Casablanca Records. The new Kiss album. Music from the Elder. Available at J&R Music World. $5.99 LP or tape.
Why are so many people drinking Diet Coke and seeing Steve Martin and Daryl Hannah's new movie, Roxanne? It's as plain as the nose on your face.
Just for the fun of it. Just for the smile of it. Diet Coke. Just for the cool of it. The love of it. The taste of it. Diet Coke. Just for the style of it. Diet Coke. The number one of it. Just for the fun of it. Roxanne and Diet Coke.
A double pleasure's waiting for you. A double pleasure from Double Mint Gum. A double great feeling, making you realize Double is the one for you. Double fresh, double smooth, double delicious to chew. A double pleasure is waiting for you. Double Mint Gum. A double pleasure is waiting for you. Double Mint Gum. A double
Wow. All this work's making me really hungry.
McDonald's introduces super summer sizes.
Laps around the pool make me so thirsty.
Larger than large mega servings of icy Coca-Cola, golden fries, and thick milkshakes, but for a limited time only. So drive through today.
Serve it up summertime at McDonald's. NBC us, NBC us. See the superstars shining bright. See the new shows that are hot. Things are happening every night. Come and see what we got. NBC us, NBC us. See a special that will make you smile. See the drama of the year. NBC is where to set your dial. NBC us right here. NBC